Hey guys, thanks for coming back and joining me for another video. Thank you to all of the new subscribers that I've had as well. This is pretty amazing. The channel is growing and I'm loving the community that we're building and all of the people that I get to chat to in the comments. Unfortunately, I can't keep the conversation going because once I respond to some of your comments, it disappears into the ether and I can't find you again. But please, on new videos, please, I tend to stay active on the first sort of hour of posting just to say hi to everyone that I can. So this is a really short video. Basically, I'm having a break from reading Tom Bowers. I'm literally so far into the world of Meghan right now that I needed a bit of a breather. And there's been a couple of stories that have come out. I'm looking a bit flushed. I've literally been back from the gym for about an hour now. And I'm one of these people that stays red and glowing, shall we say, dewy for some time afterwards. So the reason why I've decided to just have a bit of a breather before I get onto the Tom Bower videos, there's been a couple of stories that have come out in the last 48 hours. You know what it's like, slow news day. But they piqued my interest to the point where it's how convenient, really. And it's just too much of a coincidence for it not to be timed on purpose. Firstly, we have that Harry is obviously still fighting to get his security paid for by the taxpayers. It's not just the UK he's fighting. When you look at the case overall, the initial cases against Her Majesty's government, if Harry wins this and he actually manages to get his internationally protected person status back, any of your countries that he comes to, your taxpayers' money, your governments will have to provide the ego trip, which is he and Meghan's security teams. At the moment, I do not believe that the United States government pay for Harry and Meghan's security, although obviously when they do certain things, the last time we saw them in New York, there were definitely taxpayer funded officers escorting them. But in all fairness, I didn't actually see police officers this time, so it might just be, as I called them, Meghan's goon squad. But that's the seriousness. If Harry actually wins this case, he gets to become an internationally protected person again, or a VVIP, basically up your own. And Meghan, she'll get that status as well, which she'll keep if they ever divorce, because she'll be like, my safety, I've become accustomed to this way of living. So yeah, Harry's setting a bigger trap for himself later on. Not to say that the couple are obviously going to divorce. It looks like an incredibly happy marriage that most of us are very, very jealous of. So what's the story that came out? Oh, well, it just so happens that Harry and Meghan have had a couple of attempted break-ins. Although there's been no evidence of actual people breaking into the properties, their alarm systems have gone off and been tripped. I don't know about you guys, but I just got this vision in my head of Meghan sneaking around like a cat burglar, dressed all in black with a black balaclava, just going around triggering all the alarms and then running back in the house going, Harry, the children, Harry, save us. We must get more security. It's just one of those things where Harry's paranoia and his brain has been twisted so much, which I believe is what is going on with that relationship. Meghan has played into all of his insecurities, and then obviously the role of Diana, which she likes to have picked up, which is just creepy. There's some of the stuff in the Tom Bowers book I'll talk about, but it just makes it a little bit like, you probably need to see a psychiatrist rather than a therapist for a couple of these things, where Harry actually is pushing for his wife to be recognised as his mother. This is the woman that you sleep with, you have sex with, you wish to marry, and you're actually comparing her to your own mother. That's some, what's it called, an Oedipus, the Oedipus complex, you know what I'm trying to say.
Oedipus.
So anyway, that story, number one, came out and it's like, convenient, isn't it? That their house is apparently being broken into and their alarms have been tripped, probably, by animals, or members of staff trying to leave, or Harry himself trying to escape in the dark of the night. But yeah, so it was just a bit odd that happened to conveniently come up around about the time that Harry's trying to say that his life is continuously in danger and taxpayers must pay to save him and his family. I know that's not entirely true, that Harry is trying to say that he'll pay for police officers himself, but Doesn't work that way because you can't buy the police. You might be able to in some countries, but in the UK you can't. So that means for him to get his internationally protected person status back, which means every country of yours, all of you from all around the world that watch my channel, your country, your government will then have to pay for him. So it's really important that Harry actually loses this and people tell him to pay for his own, out of his own millions. But the second story, the biggest story, the reason why I've used it for the cover of the video is Harry has finally announced that his biography is due to be released. First of all, it was going to be a Jubilee, but that obviously really damaged their reputation because people were like, how could you do that? I mean, you're lower than a snake's belly as it is. So I think that they pushed it back. And then obviously Harry and Meghan were expecting to have a different outcome to their visit to the UK. They weren't expecting to be booed and shunned and glared at by the masses of people. They expected to get their Netflix footage, photographs with the Queen. Didn't work out that way. So Harry had apparently delayed the book so he could put in all of the stuff that he'd managed to, get some more dirt, no doubt. And in this instance, he's probably used all of the stuff that happened to do a real pity party. How everyone treated him so badly because he married a biracial woman and chose to leave the family unit. Now he's been cut off and isolated, blah, 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 moan, moan, moan. But yes, that's my description of what the book's going to be, really. It's going to be Harry moan. I went to the top school in the United Kingdom. I then, had everything paid for me. I had my A-levels cheated for me. I was forced to go into the military and serve the royal family to the point of burnout and moan, and my wife's my saviour and la-di-da-di-da. It's not something that I will be investing my time on like I am the Tom Bowers book and reading, that's for sure. But so anyway, it got pushed back. Then the last we heard, it was not going to be released until 2023. I know the devastation that it caused to all of us. We were so upset. But now we've been told it's being released at Christmas, just in time to hit the Christmas market. Now, what I find funny here, convenient and one heck of a coincidence is Harry was choosing to release it next year. That's what we heard. William announces Earthshot Prize is coming to Boston. Catherine and William in December are going to be in America. So Harry can now, ride on the coattails of that, because that's what it is, isn't it? That's probably why he kept pushing back when he was going to announce his book, because the moment the Earthshot Prize is happening, Harry's going to release his book round about the same time. Harry and Meghan are quite clearly incredibly jealous of Catherine and William, and I think I know the welcome that they're going to get in Boston and in America, and the Earthshot Prize and everything that it stands for. I'm sure David Attenborough will be there as well, one of my heroes. And I just find it so, like his face here, that's the Harry, that's the real Harry here, that he can't just be happy and let his brother and Catherine have this. He's got to do his book round about the same time, which is obviously going to paint William in a bad light. It's obviously going to dish dirt on Charles and Camilla. So he wants those headlines. He's basically trying to destroy one of the Queen's last Christmases. But yeah, he's doing it because it is riding on the coattails, because Catherine and William will be stateside. They will be getting so much attention, and Harry just can't handle it. But I think I can guesstimate here that Harry's book is not going to be flying off the shelves. In fact, I'd imagine it would be like Meghan's book, The Bench, which, as I saw recently on Twitter, there are companies out there selling them in packs of 24 for pretty much $1 a book, just trying to clear them. You can see Harry's book is going to be very much the same. So some of you at Christmas might get it, because people really don't understand when you say you love the royal family and they think that this book will be of interest to you. Actually, it will be great kindling for the fire. Or some of you might get it for a joke present. And I think if anyone tried to get me that for Christmas as a joke present, I'd probably whack them around the head with it before throwing it in the fire. So yeah, it's just typical of them, isn't it? It's just this one big coincidental timing that William and Catherine announced they're going stateside. Everyone's happy. America, Boston, woo, gonna be huge. Harry's releasing his memoirs. as I said, I don't think it's in comparison, and I don't think Harry's going to get the attention that he feels this book deserves, because he's not stopped singing like a canary since he announced he was doing it. We've got the Netflix docu-series, which Perez Hilton has apparently seen the trailer for. So it is real, it is happening, and Perez's view on it was, it's pretty boring, and that's just the trailer. So I say bring it on, continue with it. I'm absolutely loving it. I truly am. They show themselves for the people that they are, and to be honest with you, this book, whilst so far I haven't seen anything that I haven't already been aware of, there are certain things that have made Meghan come across quite bad, like Veruca Salt, Regina George type stuff, which I wasn't actually that shocked about. You know, Mean Girl, she kind of has that written all over her face, and a lot of the stories that have come out, she's been meaner than a junkyard dog since she's been about 10 years old. So truly, the stuff, everything that I've read about her bad behaviour, I am no longer even remotely questioning maybe that's not true, because surely no one could be that nasty and that horrible. But apparently people like this do exist, and Tom Bower has done a book on it. So guys, I know it was a bit of a shorter video, but I will be back with you very soon, and I've got to get back to reading. Take care for now. Bye.
If you like my video, please remember to like and subscribe. Please, angry typist, you will be blocked, so save your fingers the time. If you would like to buy me a coffee, please go to my About page and click the link. Love, Taz.